Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the show. My name is Brad. This is Firefighter's Financial Toolbox. I love having people ask me to do videos and questions. So once again, I got asked by Luke to do a review of the ETF VXUS. That is the Vanguard Total International Stock ETF. So here we are at ETF.com. I'm going to move myself out of the way here a little bit. Make myself smaller because, hey, I don't need to be that big. All right. So this is a Vanguard fund, obviously. It's been around since January of 2011. It has a very nice low expense ratio of 0.08%. You guys, for an international fund to be less than 10 basis points is cheap. It's got about $48.5 billion in assets under management. So it's a fairly large fund. Now, if we look at what it says VXUS offers a broad, inclusive portfolio of ex-US global stocks. Unlike many peer ETFs, including its sister fund, VEU, VXUS covers small caps in market-like proportions, which is to say a relatively small part of the portfolio. But it does have some small caps. The resultant portfolio holds a huge number of stocks, which makes the low holding cost and the solid liquidity much more impressive. There's a lot of bang for the buck here. All right, so the fund follows the FTSE Global All Cap ex-US Index. These are all countries outside of the U.S., obviously. First thing you see is it does pay a dividend, a small dividend of about 2.45%, and you guys, this is paid quarterly. It holds over 7,900 companies, 7,900 companies in one low-cost fund. If we take a look at, let's go down here to the top countries first. First of all, you see the biggest countries are Japan and Hong Kong, and they make up over 25%, you guys, followed by the UK, which is about just under 10%. Canada makes up about 6.5%. France and Germany and Switzerland are each 5 to 6%. Australia, Taiwan, and Korea make up the bottom. Okay, if we look at the top 10 sectors in VXUS, financials is the biggest, you guys, at 22%. Technology is a second at 16.2%. Industrials make up a little over 13%. Consumer cyclicals, basic materials makes up about 9%. Healthcare makes up a little over 8%. Consumer non-cyclicals, about 8%. Energy makes up just under 5%. And utilities and telecom make up the last 5+%. If we look at the top 10 holdings, the US dollar makes up 2.4%, which is kind of funny because remember, one of the risks in investing in international funds, you guys, is the fact that you have currency risk. If a currency goes up or down in value compared to the US dollar, it can affect the price of the stock as well. The largest holding here is Taiwan Semiconductor, then Tencent Holdings, Alibaba, which is basically China's Amazon, if you will, Nestle, Samsung Electronics, ASML Holdings, Roche Holdings, Toyota, and LVMH Moët Hennessy is the last. And those top 10 companies make up over 11.5%, you guys. So pretty big. Remember what I said. You have currency risk. You also have risks of what's going on in those countries. So let's take a look at what it's done year to date, first of all, because we want to know how we're doing. You can see this is you guys, in international ETFs and funds are more volatile often than domestic funds or U.S. stock funds. Doesn't mean it's bad. It means it's more volatile. And you can see here that we had a little drop in February. It came back down again in March, again in April, And it looks like the high point was actually back in June. And right now, here in August, we're up for the year, of course, but not that good. So for the year to date, we're actually up 9%. The 1 year, though, if we go to the 1 year, now remember, this is coming off the end of the drop due to COVID. So it's up for 1 year, 28.27%. If we go out to 5 years, 5 years we're at about 10.14%. And at 5 years, we're at about 5.75%. So I thought I would take a look at Portfolio Visualizer, you guys. And because when we do that, we can get a better thing. So let's type in the ticker here. VXUS. And as we said, this has been around since 2011. And we'll go through the end of July this year. Let's see how we've done. All right. So again, the benchmark is the FTSE Global All Cap XUS. Okay. Now it says here that it has 7,500 holdings. Remember that the number of holdings can change month to month, but it's always over 7,500. So you have a lot of different companies in here. So if we come down here, we see that if we started in January 31st of 2011 with $10,000, and all we did was just reinvest the dividends. We didn't add any money. You see, we've had some ups and downs. But after that 10 years, it's about 10 and a half years, we're up about $7,637. If we take a look at the CAGR, we notice that the compound annual growth rate is about 5.5%. The best year we had about 27.45%, and the worst year we lost 15.38%. Okay, so let's take a look at year over year here and see what that. So you can see that in that 10 and a half years, you guys, we actually had 4 down years. 2011 we were down 15.38. 2014 we were down 4.74. Again, 15 was about 4.19, and 2018 we were down 14.43%. Conversely, if we look at the rebound years, we came off that first slump in 2012. They got 18.61, followed by 14.61. 2017, you got 27.45. 2019, 21.75. 2020, we got 10.69, even though we had the Corona slump. And so far this year, we're at about 9.06%. Now, if we look at the max drawdowns, now what this means, you guys, what's important about this is showing how far it actually dropped during those years. Remember, when you see the annual averages, that's one thing. But we can see that back at one point here, 2011, it dropped to 24.7, and then again 2012 about 23.19. The low point here in 2016 was about minus 20.26. Again in 2019 we dropped about 19%, and in 2020 during the March slump we dropped 25.54%. So these are pretty big numbers to be thinking about, you guys. A lot of people are mixed on whether they think you should have international or not. I personally think that because the United States is a large market, but there are a lot of other countries in the world. And to me, not investing in some other companies from other countries is foolish. But this, again, is a personal choice. John Bogle, who is my idol, said he didn't think you needed to have international funds. I personally hold about 25% of my stocks, of my stock portfolio, not my total portfolio, in international. And I tend to hold those pretty much in VTIAX, which is the index fund equivalent of VXUS, you guys. So this is actually a fund that I hold, although I hold it in a index fund form. What do you guys think? Do you think that holding international funds is necessary or even worthwhile? Let me know in the comments. If you do think they're worthwhile, put so in the comments. I hope you guys got something out of this. Again, I thank Luke for asking me to do this review of VXUS. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop me that thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm. If you're not already subscribed, you know the deal. Hit the red button, ring the bell. Thanks. We'll see you.